Welcome to the podcast with wings, the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. Strap yourselves in while host David Shortte and the Shayne Train Williams take you on a flight around the country, sourcing winners and the latest news on the big two meetings in WA as well as the Meadows and Wentworth Park. The boys will be joined by East Coast experts Jaycin Campbell and Corey Smith. We'll pass on mail from some of WA's top kennels and get to know our industry members. You're at the pointy end of the plane for this week's edition of the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set.
Hello and welcome along to the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set podcast. David Shortte and the Shayne Train Williams with you for another week. Hello, Train.
Hello, Shorty. Hello, listeners. Episode 5 today, Shorty. Really looking forward to get stuck into it and finding a stack of winners for the punters.
Absolutely. And, of course, it's an exciting time with the National Sprint and Distance Championship, also the Straight Track Championship across there in South Australia. This weekend, WA head across to those features with pretty strong claims as well. Just giving you a rundown on the podcast for today. We'll get into Caught Your Eye, roll into Mandurah Friday and Saturday. Jaycin Campbell will join us for a look at the Wentworth Park program. Corey Smith to look at the Meadows. Our VIP guest today is Eric Campana. We'll have a look at Darwin with Bones Harman, the kennel mail for the upcoming weekend, along with some leftovers for this upcoming weekend for our listeners. That's all ahead here on the Jet Set podcast. We'll kick things off, though, with what's caught your eye. What's caught your eye over the last week, Train?
Yeah, I thought, Shorty, footy finals are coming towards the beginning of them, and we know you're a keen AFL student. I don't mind the NRL, so I thought I'd ask you, Shorty, who you think will win the flag this year, what the Quinella will be, and the best roughie outside of the top 4 possibly.
Oh, okay. So who do I think will win? I'm going to go with GWS to win the premiership. They're currently around that 475 mark to win the title. It's wide open. The AFL season has thrown up result after result all season long. But I like the Giants. They went deep last year. They're finding momentum at a good time of the season. I think they will play...
Tough.
It's hard. Well, Sydney and Port are looking likely to get the double chance. So I'll say Sydney. So all Sydney final. Sydney v GWS in the final. I think the Hawthorn, the Smoky, they have come from zip 5 to start off their season. They are not a team that you'd like to be playing. They're a $10 chance. So Sydney, all Sydney final there at the MCG, Sydney v GWS, and I'll go with the Hawks as the roughie there at the $10.
Yeah, interesting, Shorty. No Geelong, no chance, my team?
They're not no chance, but I do prefer other sides. I think a couple of these other sides, their best might be just a touch stronger than the Cats.
Okay, moving you forward to the NRL. I think Penrith have had their day in the sun, Shorty. They've played in the last 4 grand finals, won 3 of them. Nathan Cleary's sideline now. He will probably come back for the finals, but going in underdone is not an ideal preparation to try and win a semi-final or a grand final. So I'm ruling them out, Shorty. I think Roosters and Storm will play in the grand final. Both have had really good seasons. Fully fit now, the Storm, with Cameron Munster back, and they actually defeated Penrith last week in Penrith. So I think the Storm will win this year's premiership, beating the Roosters. And the Bulldogs, Shorty, they've had a bit of a resurgence. They're probably going to sneak into the top 4, possibly 4th, and give themselves a chance. But I think next year they'll be a really good chance to win the premiership, the Doggies, next year, Shorty.
Excellent. All right, so there are our thoughts for the upcoming finals, and what I was going to say in regards to what I've seen over the last 7 days is just a really good Nationals. It's caught my eye that Greg Blewett and all the crew that are across there for the Nationals were treated to a box draw event at the Adelaide Oval, and it's one of the premier venues in Australian sport right now. So tremendous to see that the team there at Greyhound Racing SA have really rolled out the red carpet, and they're looking after all the guests as we head towards the Nationals on Saturday night. Let's rip into finding a few winners for the weekend of chasing upcoming train. Mandurah Friday night. Take us through your key plays.
Yeah, well, as we discussed off-air, Shorty, it's a very tough weekend to find a few winners. There's a lot of races there that are wide open in the Sydney heads, but I'm going to kick it off. Race 4, number 1, Examiner. This dog trained by Cody Charles. He's second up here off a 3-month break. resumed last week and was okay, Shorty. He didn't really set the world on fire, but I just thought the move into box 1 here, where he's had 4 starts for 3 wins and a second, and some quick runs on the board as well there in the past, Shorty. A 27.36 over the longer trip at Mandurah and a 29.65 up at Northam. I thought he would really get his chance to bounce back in the winner's circle tonight. Race 4, number 1, kick it off there. The very next race, race 5, number 1, Rosie Brown. Again, wide open race, with plenty of chances, but she's very honest and consistent, this little girl, from a very good litter. Ian Bunny's done a great job with this litter. The key to this race, Shorty, is the dog in box 2, as we know. Start up Endo, he's a wide runner, so she's going to get a lovely opportunity up along the rail to burst through at some stage and hopefully hit the podium there at each way odds, race 5, number 1. And then over to race 7, number 4, Max's Odyssey. This will be my best bet, Short. He's going great guns at the moment, along with the whole Andrew McLaren team. Got a good bit of pace, this dog, and I just thought dogs in 1, 2 and 3 aren't brilliant to begin, so if he does step, he can just get to the arm straight away. I have got massive concerns if the free lobs close. Up our hammer, Balmerino, very strong dog. Run me down with another tip a couple of weeks ago, and I've still got nightmares of that, Shorty. But obviously we've seen him over east get up over 600. But getting back to Max's Odyssey, I think he's had 16 starts for 7 wins, Shorty. He's a real winner. You got to get that start right, get out and go, that bend start, and off and go. He'll be my best bet on Friday night tonight, race 7, number 4, on top of race 5, number 1, Rosie Brown, and race 4, number 1, Examiner.
Alrighty, 415174 for the train. Ryan Levitsky tonight be calling all the action. Race 2, number 7, Zipping Luik. Race 7, number 2, Dandelup Blazer. Race 8, number 2, Ned. So 277282 for Ryan. Jesse Earnshaw, race 4, number 1, Examiner. Race 6, number 1, Unleash Mayhem. Race 7, number 2, Dandelup Blazer. For me, I'm kicking things off each way. Race 2, number 7, Zipping Luik. This dog drops from city grade back to provincial grade here. She has had a habit of getting back in her races, but it's a couple of dogs that are a bit suspect the back end of 488 in this particular race. It could be up on top of the speed, and I thought that might set up for a dog to swoop home late. That may well be Zipping Luik. Always like dogs in the care of Shayne Cavanagh. He doesn't have much room in his kennel, so he only ever has dogs that have got above average ability, and Zipping Luik back to this grade, if it's got above average ability, should probably be right in the finish. So race 2, number 7, Zipping Luik, each way at a good price. Race 6, number 1, Unleash Mayhem, looking a race where there's plenty of speed drawn wide on the track. I thought there was a chance they could all find each other a little bit, and Unleash Mayhem, courtesy of the rails draw, can just punch up, hold the fence, and be very hard to run down. Race 6, number 1, Unleash Mayhem. And race 7, number 3, I'm taking on the train here in race 7 with the dog that ran down one of his runners a couple of weeks ago, Balmerino. I've been with it right the way through. It's won 3 of its last 4. The only one that's been beaten was a narrow loss to Max's Odyssey. And I just thought that Balmerino, on that occasion, it copped a few checks. If Balmerino gets a clean run tonight, I think it might be able to run down Max's, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think there'll be a pile between them. And the other dog I respect is the 2 there, Dandelup Blazer, who's down in grade, can show early pace. I thought that maybe 2 and 4 might be there, just cutting at each other a little, and that could just set it up for Balmerino on the swoop. So 2, 3 and 4, nice numbers to play around with in trifectas and first fours in race 7, but I'll stick with Balmerino. 2, 7, 6, 1 and 7, 3 for me tonight there at Mandurah. Quaddie-wise for this evening, I'll take a quaddie. First leg numbers 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, leg 1. Second leg just 1 and 8. 1, 8, so keeping it trim in the second leg. 2, 3 and 4, those numbers we just mentioned there in the third leg. And then coming home with 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, that final leg there. So should be a tremendous night of chasing there. Good luck to everyone getting involved and playing along at home. That is $2.24, I think, for a full unit there. So you can take that for a 5% option, and that'll cost you about $12. Train, have you got anything else of note, be it a roughie or indeed a rover to come out of the Friday night program?
Yeah, I've got a roughie and a rover for Friday, Shorty. We'll do our roughie, race 10, number 2, Incredible Pink. I think it's about $15. It was a winner 17.30 a couple of runs ago, Shorty, and got the rails draw, so thought it was way over the odds. Race 10, number 2, Incredible Pink. And my rover for Friday is Butter Me Up, race 6, number 6. Very even race, and this dog always is thereabouts. A good win last start in a high quality field as well. So 6-6 Butter Me Up is my rover.
Butter Me Up, a train on the Rove there with that particular greyhound for tonight's program there at Mandurah. I have got my Ruffy and Rover on the Saturday night program, so we'll bring that to you shortly when we have a look at that. That's Friday night taken care of. Train, let's turn the page, move to headquarters out there. This is a bumper 13-race program, if you don't mind, on Saturday night out there. And the feature race, the Peter Thomas, this is for the WA bred chasers. And what I do like about this is that it really underlines the quality of depth when it comes to WA breeding in recent years. There was a significant period of time where dogs from the East Coast would just come across here and bully us. That's no longer the case. We've got dogs that can travel anywhere around Australia and measure up. And when you have a series like this, the heats were unbelievable last week and we've been left with a stunning final.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Shorty. And not only that, for our Derby and Oak series, there used to be raiders come across and take the prize, but they don't seem to come anymore because it's very tough going here these days. Very hard to win a race anywhere over here, Shorty. I remember when I first started training, probably 5 or 6 years ago, you could go off and sneak and get an easy one somewhere, but not anymore. You go to Northam and you bump into a 29-20 country 5 dog. So it's very hard to win a race here, Shorty, and that's the quality of the breeding. The trainers here do a tremendous job with their dogs, and yeah, like you said, we are very competitive anywhere in Australia.
Most definitely. All right, well, let's get into the key plays for Saturday night. Who do you like on this card?
Yeah, going to kick it off, race 3, number 2, Hollywood Miss, another dog for Andrew McLaren. She tasted defeat for the first time last week, but that was probably because she drew 6, Shorty. She had no luck whatsoever. Goes back in the box 2 for tonight's assignment, Saturday night's assignment, and got that really good early speed to find the arm. I think she'll get a good look at it from box 2, Shorty. Dog out of 8's very short, and he got beat at a short price favourite last start. Very hard to get off box 8 at Mandurah over the 488. So just hoping Hollywood Miss can spear the lids, be off and gone. Mate gets held up, and we can get the money again. Race 3, number 2, Hollywood Miss. Over to the second tip, Shorty, race 7, number 1, Malfetta Cruz. Interesting. Has a new trainer now. We'll get to find out a bit more about that a little bit later on when we speak to Eric. But look, you only got to go back 2 starts ago, Shorty. This dog went 26.90. The splits he run were unbelievable. Yes, he got beat last start, and my fingers are still burnt from that occasion. But look, going to get every possible chance tonight. Surprisingly, he hasn't won from box 1, which shocked me. But I think he'll take care of that Saturday night, Shorty, and tick that off the list. So Malfetta Cruz, race 7, number 1, very keen. And then over to race 8, number 3. So I'm going to team up with Paul Stewart here, Starlight Panama. Very good last week from box 7. Much better suited back to box 3. Again, it's a wide open race. I think we'll get some sort of price here, Shorty. Very comfortable, this dog, when it draws near the rails. It's got really good record when it's got boxes 1, 2 and 3. So I think Paul Stewart will tick me off a winner 3-2, 7-1 and 8-3 on Saturday night.
Alrighty. We'll get into the thoughts of Jesse Earnshaw and Ryan Levitsky now for Saturday night. Ryan Levitsky, race 2, number 2, Hector Hunter. Dog that likes the inside. 2 for 2 from the draw. Should be hard to beat again. Race 4, number 4, Sunset Nightjar. Ryan's teaming up with to take out the Peter Thomas final. And race 10, number 7, Rapido Jedi. I think it'll be a good night for Paul Stewart there on Saturday. And Rapido Jedi, don't think it'll be a maiden for too long. Jesse Earnshaw, he's teaming up with race 2, number 2, Hector Hunter. Race 5, number 5, Sunset Peppy. And the third of the plays for Jesse there on Saturday night is race 11, number 1, West on Miley. Race 11, number 1, West on Miley. For me, I am starting off my key plays with race 5, number 5, Sunset Peppy. This dog, of course, was very good in the recent 400 metres series. Had no luck last week, stepping up to 488. From the 5, I think it can show enough early burn to lob into a forward spot and be hard to beat. The second of my key plays is race 7, number 1, Malfetta Cruz. A dog, as the train touched on, recent form's been very good. Stepped up to the 600 race well there. Back to the 488 was a hot winner 2 back. And then I still sort of watched that replay a couple of times and just think there was a moment in the home straight where it looked to click up and it's almost like it sort of slipped a little, just lost a little bit of momentum for about 50 or 60 metres. And that was the difference on that occasion. I think I can forgive that. I'm happy enough to be with Molfetta Cruz to bounce back here. And the third of my specials comes up in race 11, number 6, Can You Kraken. Look, this dog's back to provincial grade 5 company now. If you understand the grading system, this dog was up in city grade 4 company racing our best dogs over 500 not that long ago when Cannington was still open. Hasn't been terrible in harder races of late. Last time it had this box in this grade, came out and absolutely blew them up in a 22 and 24. This is a rinse and repeat job, punters. Can You Kraken, down in grade, and exactly the same as we saw 10 starts ago. It'll step, it'll run time, and it'll say, get me back up where I belong. On Saturday night, race 5, number 5, race 7, number 1, race 11, number 6. Train your quaddie there for Saturday night at Mandurah, please.
Yeah, quaddie on Saturday, Shorty. I'm going to go field in the first leg. I think it's a wide open race, so we're hoping for a bit of a rough result there. But I can give you a short tip. The favourite will probably win the first leg. Every time I take field, the favourite lobs in the first leg, Shorty. So field into 1, 2, 6, into 1 and 8, into 3, 4, 5, 7. It's 192, Shorty. That's a bit dearer than normal, but it is a bit of a difficult quaddie.
Field 1, 2, 6, 1, 8, 3, 5, and 7.
3, 4, 5, 7.
3, 4, 5, 7, that final leg. Field 1, 2, 6, 1, 8, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Now,
I got a rover for Saturday.
Okay, let's hear your rover.
It's Hurricane Taylor, race 5, number 1. I had a chat to Eric after this dog race last start because I did actually like it and was one of my tips, and it got dragged down from behind, had a big scrape mark on the back of its leg from another dog. So it's obviously had 2 weeks off to get over that. So again, box 1. We'll go again, Hurricane Taylor, for my rover on Saturday.
All right, so Hurricane Taylor gets the nod there for the train on Saturday night. For me, my rover and Ruffy all combined in one. Race 4, number 1, Bungee Man. This dog screams out for the inside draw. It's a race with a lot of early pace. Bungee Man, I think, can punch up hard on the fence here. And I think in that capacity, it can absolutely play a part. I think it'll be hitting the frame. If it's messy up front, it can win. If it's not, it can run a very good second or third at a decent price. So for me, race 4, number 1, Bungee Man.
I like it, Shorty. It'd actually be good to see Enzo and Graham with a winner. They've not had a lot of luck in recent times. So Bungee Man would be good to see that win the Peter Thomas final.
Excellent. Well, we'll call that for Saturday night there, and Bungee Man will be the dog we're looking to team up with. And plenty still to come here on the Jet Set podcast for today. We're going to head across to the East Coast. The man that was hot last week, Jaycin Campbell, he's going to join us and have a look at this Wentworth Park program shortly. Last week, though, Rebel Ethics exploded, still available, crowded house. From the East, his very best got home. He saw them very nicely indeed.
It's a busy weekend of chasing in New South Wales. Joining the boys to help find you the winners, it's the one and only Jaycin Campbell.
Time to catch up with our great mate, Jaycin Campbell. He was seeing them like beach balls last week. Great to have him back on the program this week. Hello, JC.
Hey, Shorty. Hey, Train. How you going, guys?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Good to see you're alive. You made it out of Penrith okay last week?
Yeah, well, thanks to your mail, staying out of certain areas and whatnot, I've made it alive. The chicken wasn't all that good. TikTok hype once again down the drain. But Apple Golf was the star of the night, Train.
Bad review coming up?
Not great. I think me and my mates, we love Dave Portnoy. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. I'm sure you have. Barstool Sports. And he does those pizza reviews. And we do something similar here in Sydney, and I'd be struggling to give that anything above a 7.2 personally.
Oh, well, there you go. You can get that down the road at the local KFC, so not worth driving more than an hour for that fried chicken. Maybe they didn't get the Colonel's secret herbs and spices. They might have to investigate that heading forward. Now, JC, you must have been happy the way things panned out last week, and of course we've got the Nationals to look forward to as well on Saturday. It's a big couple of days in greyhound racing.
Yeah, can't wait for the Nationals. I like the concept, obviously, and I know there's been a bit of talk about it and blah, blah, blah. I get it. But it's good to everyone gets together for a weekend of racing. Obviously, the races aren't as good as we probably would have liked, but we're still left with 3 really good fields and hopefully 3 winners in respective states.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, JC. Really, the concept. Look, it's not for everyone. If you don't want to go in it, don't go in it. It's not worth the big money. But at the end of the day, everything's not about money, is it? It's about pride and representing the state. So I think it still has a place for sure.
100%. Agree with you, Train.
Alrighty, well, let's get into the activities for this week. And before we get too deep into it, it must be said, JC, you deserve some pretty significant props because you have found yourself to the top of the leaderboard when
Not
it comes to our
long.
very best challenge with that result last week from the East. We were both keen on it. 200 you got out of that. Super Tab was nice to you. It was $1.60 fixed, but we pay Super Tab $2 buckaroonies. You're up to 500. So very nice, JC. You are leading the race as we speak. Let's get into your thoughts for another busy Saturday night there at Wentworth Park. What are your best bets on the program?
Yeah, it was a tough watch, Shorty. I don't want that one over again. I thought she'd lead or pop outside the leader, but she ran a few of them down, so we'll take that. Thank God. We'll head to Saturday, race 4, number 5, Father Rick. He returns from a 3-month break here. His last start in this company, he won by 3 lengths in a personal best, 29.62. Despite box 5 looking tricky on paper, I think he's really well drawn here. He's got a noted wide runner directly outside him and the speedy Coco model drawn underneath him. So I think he's got to get a lovely car into this race and prove too strong late in the piece.
Very nice. Race 4, number 5, had the same dog, the Rickster. You've just got to have a little bit of faith that the little bit of time away has been okay for the dog. So Father Rick, for the pair of us, any other BBs, or are we going to roll straight into your better bets on the program from a value perspective, maybe a Rover and a Roughie?
I've got one more before we get into the value and the Rover. Race 6, number 7, Tulsi Banner. She won the Group 1 Peter Mossman Opal final 3 starts to go over this track and trip in 29.60. Happy to be very forgiving of her last start effort where she drew an unsuitable inside box. Having her first attempt over the middle distance, think we can pen that run completely. Better suited drawing wide here where she's won both her starts out of box 7 and has a noted railer underneath her. I think she'll get every chance, Tulsi Banner.
Very nice indeed. Race 6, the black rug there, Tulsi Banner. Into your Roughie for this week?
Yeah, not sure, once again, what we got to get. Last week I tipped a Roughie at even money, so absolutely flying I am. Still available, was heavily backed. I did get the market right, but wasn't a rough result, I guess. But hopefully this one has a bit more meat in the bone, Shorty and Train. Race 2, number 5, Ritzer Rocker. He's placed in his last 3 over this track and trip. I just think he's got a nice box here. He's got Raymond Smith trying to flash on by inside, who does look like he wants to get back to the rail initially. And King Tide, as we saw last start, he does like to hook wide. He's not a quick beginner. So I think Ritzer Rocker's got to get every chance to begin on terms, hopefully zoom into a forward position and hold on for a nice place price or potentially win the race if there's a bit of carnage.
Now, I can sense just that crystal ball working very nicely here for our Rover. We'd look to get it early on in the night, surely.
Yeah, I can't be bothered doing the form when Crowded House is in every week. It's the easiest Rover of all time. Back to the well once again. Shorty, race 1, number 8, Crowded House. Placed in all of his last 3 starts over this track and trip. Ran second, a golden phase last week, and it was a pretty good run, I thought, Shorty. She ran fastest time of the night, and she's heavily in a market at Maitland on Monday in a heat of the $1 Million Chase regional series. So I think that's good form line for this, and he's placed in all 5 starts from box 8. So I just don't think we change the secret sauce here, Shorty. Race 1, number 8, Crowded House, to run another place for us.
No, the connections of Crowded House got the Colonel's secret herbs and spices. There's no problem about that. You get no bad reviews on their chicken, long as the Crowded House just keeps on delivering that sweet music for us and running a whole week in, week out. Into your quaddie play for this weekend?
Leg 1, I've gone 1, 2, and 3. Leg 2, I've gone 2 and 7. Leg 3, I've gone 1, 2, 4, 6. And leg 4, sorry, keep getting that mixed up. Leg 4, 1, 3, and 8.
All right, in recap, 1, 2, 3. Second leg, 2, 7. Third leg, 1, 2, 4, 6. Final leg, 1, 3, 8. Before you give us your very best, my key plays on the program. Race 1, number 8, Crowded House, The Rove. Race 4, number 5, Father Rick. Race 7, number 4, Lorraine Jackie. Lorraine Jackie is a very, very talented canine, and I would expect there for the race Smith Camp with a little bit of luck early doors. Lorraine Jackie can certainly play a part in the finish there. Race 8, number 1, Recycled for that man, Jay Mackay, did do the right thing for us last week. And Jason Mackay is one fellow that when he's got a canine, you know that he does get the best out of them. And despite it going from wide to the inside draw, from the east, ended up winning pretty well last week, and normally better beginner than what we saw last week. It should win again as well. So for me, 1-8 The Rove, 4-5 Father Rick, 7-4 Lorraine Jackie, 8-1 Recycled, 10-1 From the East. They are my key plays Saturday night, Wentworth Park. That only leaves us with the very best of the weekend from our man, Jaycin Campbell. Jace, the very best of the weekend at Wentworth Park is?
Drum roll, please. Race 10, I'm opposing you, Shorty. I'm going with the yellow box here, number 5, Power and Glory. He returned from a 3-week break. Last start, running third behind Sammy, Ethan and Toodles Jack. He was just beaten to the punch by Toodles Jack last week, and he veered off the track on the first corner. I think he's much better suited drawing outside this runner this week. He should be able to push forward, sit in the first 3 early, and I think he's got to explode down the back and make it hopefully 4 from 5 for the very best bets.
Very nice indeed, and a very fast dog when it gets it on its own terms. 29 and 28 this dog's gone there at the venue. That is sizzling.
Yeah, you can't go much faster than that. He'd be with the likes of Flying Ricardo and Fernando Bale and whatnot. I don't think that track record's ever going to get broken. I think it's 29.08. I don't think a dog's got within 2 lengths of that. So that's as good as any dog can go, and hopefully he can do that once again for us.
Yeah, we love your work, JC. I know a lot of the punters there have circled that one, race 10, number 5. Now, listen, before we let you go, just a couple of things are going to put you on the spot. $1 Million Chase, you mentioned the heat's coming up soon. Have you got a long-range play for the punters out there to back something pre-post?
Jeez, on the spot. I'm just trying to do my Bradman best at Launceston on Monday, Shayne. I haven't really looked 2 months ahead, but you want a dog with speed, I guess. Maybe a Power and Glory. He has the speed to drop a really slick first and second section. I'd say he'd be in betting. I heard McKenna. I saw some breaking news. I think she's out of it. So,
yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, sorry?
I've seen that too, yeah. She's out of the $1 Million Chase series. But okay, we'll drop that one down. That should be a very good price. We'll have a look to what price she is later on.
Maybe Sultana's dog rinsed a lot. I see it in a heat at Maitland over the 450. It run, I think it won the Vic Peters 2 months ago, like 29.40. It's probably got a lot more upside. I think it's won 7 of its 8 starts or something. So that could be a dog that could definitely play a factor in it. I just think the sprinting ranks right now are probably a little bit not as good as they were 12 months ago. So it's probably open for a young dog to be on, just be progressive and hopefully knock it off on the night. Yeah,
he's a real nice dog, rinsed a lot. Know the owners really well. Talked to us about him coming over for the Sandgroper. That's how much of an opinion they have for him. Just quickly, I will let you know, and punters know, that Dave Hobby sent Sunset Frazier and Sunset Tyson to Michelle Sultana to be aimed up at the MDC as well, boys.
Yeah, wow. I like to be on Sunset Frazier. I think he's probably the fastest dog in Australia over 300 metres, over the 500 metres. His first 2 sections, obviously at Cunnington, he's got those records, I'm pretty sure. So he's a dog I've got a lot of time for, and I've always wanted to see him at a track such as like a Sandown 515 or a Wentworth Park 520, where you could just scoot away and really run some ripping sections.
Yeah, you think he'd fly around when he... Good to see you, mate. Today, your podcast is back. Give that a plug with the boys at Wolfden.
Yeah, we're back. I don't know how. They bet up to 101 apparently on TABtouch. So we're back for season 2. We overlooked the Nationals. So we did a preview for the straight track, the distance and the sprint. So you can find that on YouTube, Dogs in the Den, and the podcast providers are Wolfden. So looking forward to keeping that rocking and rolling straight into the $1 Million Chase and the Melbourne Cup and whatnot.
Magnificent. JC, we love your work here on the Jet Set each and every Friday, mate. Appreciate your time. Have a ripper weekend. Hopefully the chicken's a bit more tasty this time round.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
All the best, mate.
Another massive evening of metropolitan chasing lies ahead at the Meadows on Saturday night. To dissect the card, here's the man with the Melbourne Mail, Corey Smith.
Let's catch up with Corey Smith now and have a look at the Meadows. We find him in South Australia, where the National Sprint and Distance and Straight Track Championships are all taking place over the next couple of days. Welcome, Corey. How is it in South Australia today?
Thoroughly enjoying it, mate. The sun is out. I'm a little bit lost. I have no idea where I am, but we're having plenty of fun and looking forward to the Nationals. It's been a good week so far, and it's only going to get better when we get the racing underway.
Now, it's always a great event wherever it is held around Australia. But the talk that I've heard in regards to South Australia hosting, it's been really, really complimentary. We saw the box draw at Adelaide Oval earlier on in the week. I've seen some vision of Greg Blewett with our man Peter O'Neill there overnight. It sounds like it's been incredibly professionally run and a great chance for the industry to catch up. But talk us through what you've seen to this point in time and the opportunity to go and spend some time at the Adelaide Oval. It's a wonderful facility, one of the better sporting venues on the globe now.
Yeah, it certainly is. I obviously have a huge amount of respect for the team over here at GRSA. We ran the Nationals at the Meadows last year, and plenty of work goes into it. And it's a tough caper to put it together and make it all work, but they're doing a fantastic job. And you touched on the Adelaide Oval. I'd only been to the Adelaide Oval once before, and it was on a boys' trip, so the memories were a little bit dusty. So it was good to get there with a few less sherbets under the belt, and we managed to head into the Sheffield Shield rooms and the media rooms and up in the old scoreboard, which was absolutely amazing to see how that works. That's absolutely iconic, and that has been the theme of the Nationals for South Australia is iconic SA, and they've pulled out all the stops and they've made it a really memorable one so far, and we haven't even got to the awards or any of the racing yet.
No, it sounds like it's going to be absolutely first class. From a WA perspective, we're going in to both the sprint and the distance final with pretty solid hopes. Likewise for the Vics, Aunt Virginia was very good taking out the distance final over there, and one greyhound I've got an awful lot of time for, always have is Smooth Plane. It's come up with box number 8, but just such a great competitor. I'm sure the Vics are going in pretty confident. Both of the reps from a Big V perspective head in pretty good form and are very talented chasers.
Yeah, exactly right. Smooth Plane is probably best described as just a typical daily dog, and that's no knock at all. That just goes to show how good these sort of greyhounds can be and how much they can fly under the radar. He's made multiple Group 1 finals. He's just been an absolute beast, and he does it in all three phases of the race. He begins okay. He's got good mid-race pace, and as most of the daily dogs do, he comes home like a train. So you can never discount him. I think he's going in blind without a trial into the race, but by all reports, that doesn't faze him too much. I think he might have done that up at Brisbane, and he made the Brisbane Cup final out of that. So I think he's the sort of dog. He's pretty bomb-proof. He can handle most situations, and he's going to handle the pressure pretty well. And Aunt Virginia, I've got massive raps on her. I think she's an absolute superstar in the making. We've seen her lead. We've seen her come from behind. We've seen her be pestered for the whole race and never throw in the towel. So she's another greyhound that just has so many assets, so many attributes that kind of show that she can be a really top-line stayer in the future. She's going to have her work cut out for her in a fantastic national distance field, but she is an absolute superstar. I'm actually tipping her on top. I don't know whether I'm being too parochial with Aunt Virginia or not, but I think she's going to be hard to beat. And I don't know whether it's because I've started hanging out with you blokes on a Friday on this podcast or what, but I've landed Miss Envy on top for the WA runners as well. So a little bit of love for you guys, a little bit of love for us here in Victoria. But whatever the result, I think it's going to be a cracking race. And it's come up a pretty decent field. I think the distance is probably stronger than the sprint. I think it's fair to say. But there's some good competitors in both races.
Well, I was going to say, take your sombrero off and give us a tip, but you've beat me to it. They tell me the 8's over the line in the straight track championship, cash on delivery. So we'll have to multi them three up, Gory.
Yeah, well, I've heard plenty of good things about it. Obviously, he's been a good dog for a long period of time. Went through that Thunderbolt series as well, cash on delivery. But I wouldn't discount the Victorians. They're probably drawn upside down. They got the visitors' draws, and one wants across to the rail and one wants a little bit up the track, and they're drawn upside down. But I think they're the two fastest animals in the race, Zipping Gorillas and Mile a Minute. So I think they're going to be really hard to beat. And Express Ethics, I think, is going to be a real chance as well from the inside draw for New South Wales. So it's a cracking race, the straight track series, and it's a little bit different. Obviously, a few of the competitors, whether they come from Cabalaba or Richmond, they have a different style of track, a different style of lure, and they've got to kind of translate that to Murray Bridge. So I think the Victorians and the South Australians have probably got the leg up in that respect. For sure you heading out to the straight track? Yeah, I say I am, but it's an early morning, so we might have to see how I pull up train. I'm not that great on a backup.
Oh, well, pace yourself. It's going to be a long day by the sounds of it.
That's it, mate. We'll keep trucking along, and I'll just keep batting away. A little bit like the intention dogs. I just keep batting away. That's my plan for the week.
Well, that is a good intention heading into the weekend, to just keep finding under the stick. Now, the Meadows, obviously with you being away, we don't expect you to have done a truckload of form. I might quickly just fizz through my thoughts on the program, and then we'll throw to you for your very best of the weekend. I'm going to kick things off in race 2 with a rove on number 7, TABtouch. This is a dog that we have mentioned in the past, very reliable in regards to hitting the frame, and looks a really nice rove play early on in the card. Then moving on to race 5, number 4, Mapunga Surprise. This is a dog that, Corey, I'm pretty sure you were with this last time out, and it was a really nice win. It looks to be a pretty progressive stayer from a very good kennel there with Jeff Britton and Mapunga Surprise. Similar race, just needs to do similar to what it did last time out to be very hard to beat. In race 6, I thought number 6, Black Silencer, was hard to beat in this lineup. Greyhound that's got a big motor, Black Silencer, over the 600 metres, should be able to put itself into a good spot and be hard to beat. In the same race, tempted to have a small rove with Greyhound number 5, Daedalus Diggle, who's nearly always the outsider of the field, but regularly runs home into 3rd and 4th and jacks up trifectas and first fours. I think it can potentially help to do something for us there in race number 6 on Saturday night. Another of the rove plays is in race 9, Greyhound number 6, Run for Shelter. So race 9, number 6, Run for Shelter, roving with it there on Saturday night. Race 8, number 2, Mapunga Smoky, is a greyhound that's going really well at the moment. Hector Fawley's the interesting runner there. It'll be getting back and charging home over the concluding stages. And that is all for this week. So we'll now swing to Corey for his thoughts for the weekend at the Meadows and the very best play there, Corey.
Well, I'm aligning with you on one of these. I'm going with my best bet of the weekend, the $100 play, whatever you want to call it. I'm going with the girl that got us the chockies last week, as you said, in very impressive fashion. I'm going with Mapunga Surprise. I honestly think she has the talent to make it as a really top-line stayer. And while it's a decent field that she faces, I think she's got a few lengths on these when she's going well. And as we saw last week, she is going well. So that's my play of the week. And in another race that you've tipped in, I'll be cheering on my boy, a bloke I've got ownership in, Kenya All Class. His first step up to the big leagues. He's facing Mapunga Smoky and Hector Fawley. Tasks don't get much harder than that. Kenya All Class is he's a talented dog, but I think he might find it a little bit difficult from box number 5 against that opposition, but it'll be good to see where he stacks up.
Definitely. Nice to have a dog that's even accepted into those high-grade races. So certainly this dog's done some good things on the way through. Kenya All Class. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the dog to start off with, Corey.
All my dogs have always been trained by Jess Hopkins, who I think is an absolute superstar trainer and is probably underrated by many, but she looks after him as well as you possibly can. She's an absolute superstar. She loves her dogs, and she rang me and she said, we're buying one off the breakers. We're paying a little bit of money for it, but he's got some ability. Would you be interested? And I hadn't had a dog for about 12 months. Just I don't know why. I just hadn't bought into one. Hadn't got the interest involved again. And I thought, why not? I may as well. And we've had plenty of fun so far with him. And he's had a few little injury problems. He had about 5 months off, but he's back and firing, and his trials are telling us he's ready. He's telling us he's ready. So, I'm looking forward to seeing how he stacks up against a couple of the big boys. I have the utmost respect for Hector Fawley and Mapunga Smoky and a few other dogs in the race as well. I'm looking forward to his clash with them.
Magnificent. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Before you go train, you got one more for Corey?
I just wanted to give him the update on the leaderboard, Shortte. He's slipped in the second spot. Won't be there for long, but just give him the update.
Yeah, absolutely. As it sits right now, we've got JC on 500. Corey, you picked up last week 120 with Needful, and Train and I both missed last week. So it's the visitors that are getting the job done here over the home team. We need to lift Train. Love your work, though. Have the best of weekends, Corey, and we look forward to our chat again next Friday on the Jet Set.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it, and happy punting. I hope everyone can find a winner.
Good man. Corey Smith.
Thanks,
with us
mate.
there, live from South Australia, where he'll be taking in all of the action of the Nationals. Okay, Train, let's keep moving on this Jet Set podcast for another week. And here we we'll be getting into a chat with a fellow that's been very good to you since coming across here to WA and one of the better men in our local industry. He's an absolute ripper, Eric Campana.
It's time to roll out the red carpet and welcome our local industry VIP guest of the week.
Time for the VIP industry guest on the Jet Set for this week, and we welcome in Eric Campana. The red carpet's been rolled out. Welcome to you, Eric, Shorty, and the train. How's your Friday afternoon progressing?
Hey guys, not bad, thanks. Just about to mince 400 kilos of chicken, so I'd say it's wonderful, but it really isn't.
We just talked about chicken with our previous guest, KFC and chicken, and now you're doing it.
Oh, well, I wish mine was KFC, but I can assure you it isn't.
It sounds like a job that you'll do very, very well, I'd suggest there. Eric, mincing up 400 kilos of chicken. Welcome to the show to start off with, and for people that are tuned in, Eric has been involved in the sport for a really significant period of time. His dad, Joe's also one of the fine men that have been in this sport for a long period of time. They run the trial track here in WA that so many people use to work with their dogs, to educate their dogs, and it's been a wonderful service here in WA for a significant period of time. Eric, take us, you're a little different to some people that sort of come in as greenskins to the industry. You were almost born into it.
Yeah, Dad was obviously, we lived in East Cannington where the Cannington Greyhound track was, and the old man started off, we went there, he used to take us there as kids, and then he won his first one, and by the end of that year, I think he had about 11. I think 8 of them were hidden from Mum, but it just developed from that. And then as I was only young, and then we just got more and more. And then when I was about 14 or 15, Dad brought the first dog property, and just sort of stemmed from that.
And it's from there. You've always had a great love. You've always been very natural and confident around dogs, but you've also had what's very clear for all that see you around dogs. You've always had that real genuine affection. It's sometimes you see with people, they've just got a genuine passion and love for the animal, and it seems every time I've seen you with a dog, it's pretty clear that you've got that rapport with an animal, and they seem to love back the other way.
Yeah, well, if you don't love it, you've got to love the dogs, otherwise they don't love it either. So you've got to appreciate the breed and that too. So definitely I've always held a long love for the Greyhound. They're a very well-respected dog in our family. So, it's definitely always been that way.
Yeah, Eric, thanks for giving up your time today. We know you're a very busy man, and we won't keep you that long, but obviously it's a very big family operation that you run there. You have 2 properties. You have the trial track. That all keeps you busy?
Always. So we started doing breakers again this year, only on a small number, but we stopped for a while there when we had a strong race team, but we haven't got that at the moment. So we've been running the trial twice a week, Tuesday and Friday to the public, and then we've been doing breakers, and we've just been working through what we've got, and hoping that sometime soon we'll land into a couple of handy ones again. But at the minute, I can't say I've got them, so we just sort of battle through. But yeah, 2 properties. We've got a 5 acre and a 1 acre, so that keeps us pretty busy doing that sort of stuff.
And we just realised, Eric, you've taken over the training of Malfetta Cruz. He's racing tomorrow night. How did that come about?
Nick's going back to Italy for a holiday, so he asked me to take on all 3 of his dogs. He hasn't. I haven't got the other 2 yet because he's not leaving till early September. But we noticed the Mandurah 488 feature race was in September. I think the 6th of September. So we just opted to get him into our kennel and sort of get him settled in before that. Because just didn't want to have any issues over the next coming few weeks. So just thought we'd started early.
And how was he settled in? Good?
He missed Nick, obviously. Nick reared him and then had him the whole time. So he's been a little bit, he's missed Nick a fair bit. He's a little bit sooky. But he's been there now. This is his second week. This Sunday will be his second week with us. So he's settled in good now, the routine, the diet. So he was a little bit off his food at the first and that sort of stuff. But all in all, now he's settled in pretty good. So he's going in fresher than what he normally would. Box 1's not ideal tomorrow night, but he's going in a bit fresher and that. So hopefully once we sort of get that race underway on Saturday, then we sort of get him into our routine. And then fingers crossed he can just sort of stick to where he is.
All right, that's interesting. It does come up with the inside draw there on Saturday night. It's often when dogs are fresh, they can step a little bit cleaner than what they traditionally do. Are you expecting him to come out on Saturday night?
Oh well, he wants, obviously everyone knows he wants his preferred outside, but if he come out, it'd be ideal. I've kept him fresh for that sort of reason. Small field. He's naturally a strong dog. He had a trial at Mandurah last week. He went fair. He ran best on day at that time. So all in all, everything looks okay. But I sort of, for me as a new trainer and all that sort of stuff, I'm not 100% confident in what we sort of expect tomorrow. But it'll be a good indicator anyway.
All right, we'll use that as a measuring stick heading forward with a very talented dog, and a nice one to have your hands on. You've also got another really nice runner in on Saturday night as well, comes up with box number 1 there. And Shayne and I were talking about it a little bit earlier on today. Hurricane Taylor, greyhound that's run over a bunch of different distances, really versatile type. How do you see it going off the cherry on Saturday?
Last start off the red, he was a bit unlucky. He was in a good position, and the dog sort of cut across him, and then he got poleaxed from behind. So he had excuses. For mine, he ended up with a fair few lacerations across his back legs and that. So he's going good, but he's a veteran now. So, he's over 4 years of age. He's been a great dog for us. He's really up there with some of the best we've had and that sort of thing. So as long as he gets around safe, I'd be happy. But if he can position in a good spot, he's a strong dog. So I haven't had a great look at the field myself. So I just hope he jumps and can sit somewhere on the fence and just avoid that initial issues on the 488 racing at the start. Just avoid the trouble, get into a good spot, and he should be finishing well.
Yeah, he's been a grand old campaigner for your kennel, Eric, hasn't he? How many do you have in work, mate?
So at the moment, I've got about 22 in work. We actually had a massive cut. We actually cut right back, and it's been good. So, we've had a little bit more free time. So it's worked out well. I've chased other avenues stuff. So we decided to cut back. And so, yeah, there's 22 in work, and there's a few there who are retired and just waiting for pet life.
All righty. Well, let's rip into the most anticipated moment of the week. Eric, our man, the Shayne train, has got the blowtorch out. He's ready to fire with his questions of doom on this Friday. You ready to roll?
Yep, all good with me.
Let's do it.
All right, Eric, you walk into a bar. What's your drink order?
Oh, I just drink Coke, mate.
I knew that was coming. Where are you taking your lovely partner Jade on a romantic dinner date?
Probably Hungry Jack's. Maybe back in the old days before we had the 2 younger kids, we used to go to the Sea restaurant once in a while, or we'd go and do some of those those nice things, or we'd meet you at the Elephant and Wheelbarrow. But those days are a little bit past at the moment.
What about Emperor's Kitchen, mate?
Yeah, Emperor's Kitchen's always a good one. So, a bit of Chinese. Chinese takeaway, that's about all we do these days. And if she was real lucky, I could take her to Hungry Jack's for a day out, but we haven't even had those moments.
Funniest person in our industry? You can't say yourself, unfortunately. You are pretty funny.
Oh, jeez. Funniest person? I don't know, yourself or Rod Noden, probably up there.
Best dog you've trained? Best
dog I've trained?
Yep.
Oh, I've had some fast ones over the years. Off the Fenway and Hurricane Taylor, Sunset. So probably Off the Fenway and Hurricane Taylor would be my better ones, but I've had some good ones over the years. So I've had Sunset Blaze, who was a very fast pup and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, probably Off the Fenway and Hurricane Taylor.
Yep. This next question hasn't happened for a while, but favourite holiday destination?
Yeah, I haven't been on one of those for a long time, so haven't really gone there very far in my life either. I've been to Bali, I've been in WA a little bit, but yeah, haven't really got one of those. Hopefully, by the time I'm 50, I'll travel the world and be able to say all of those places.
Yeah, good. Any embarrassing moments?
Oh, geez, I've had a fair few in my life. I don't know exactly.
What about give us the casino one at the Perth Cup time?
What was that?
Give us the one at the casino Perth Cup time when I come over.
What, when I hit the deck a few times?
Yeah.
Or well, that was why I don't drink anymore, because I drank too much and I passed out a couple of times, and then Anthony Barranca Fuzz got kicked out instead of me after I collapsed twice from excessive drinking all day at the races with you and then the Greyhounds. So, yeah, that was a blurred day, that one. But
to be fair, he's a very bad influence, it must be said, Eric.
Yes, he is. So, yeah, I've hit the ground a few times. But, yeah, I've had a fair few embarrassing moments over my time.
Hobbies outside of racing?
At the moment, I've gone into mortgage brokering, so that's probably my only hobby at the minute. Obviously, we've got the family and that, but that's my new hobby. That's where my passion is at the moment. So,
and give that a plug, Eric. You just been successful starting up your company, so you can give that a plug.
Yeah, well, I've just started, obviously got accredited and that, so I'm working with the loan panel. That's Simon Marciali and Luke Adams, who Colleen Pearson is Simon's mum, so they're heavily involved in the Greyhounds. So I've been fortunate enough to sort of join up with them, and they've been great mentors. Simon's been sensational for me. So where there's the three of us now, we just work for the loan panel, and I've managed to get a few loans under my belt, so it's been real good. So if anyone needs a loan, well, hit us up. We're Greyhound racing people, so we'll look after anyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. Favourite track? Doesn't have to be in WA.
Oh, favourite track? I don't like Mandurah, so I'll go with Cannington.
Yep. And the last one, mate. Name 3 people in our industry that you would choose to be stuck on a deserted island with.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'll go with yourself. Because I know you like to eat Chinese, so it'd be all right if we could get some food. So we'll go yourself. It's limited. Paul Stewart and Sean Cavanagh.
Beautiful. Good 3. Shorty, any more questions for the great man?
No, just finally, obviously an opportunity to shout out to your beautiful family being on the Jet Set podcast. I know how much time and hard work and love's put into to keep you ticking over, and you've got the most beautiful partner and family, and they deserve a little bit of, plaudit for the hard work they put in as well.
I just wanted to... There you go.
Sure, family do a lot. So my old man's actually mincing chicken at the moment, and then we got Amory and Terry, and then I got Jade and my family and that. So without a family unity, you just haven't got nothing really.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing, Eric. You're probably the reason I come to WA, so I owe you a hell of a lot. You're probably the closest thing to family I've got, your family. So I really thankful for what you've done for me as well. So yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast today, mate, and good luck over the weekend, and hopefully I don't put the Moz on Mulfetta Cruise on the weekend.
No, that's all right. No worries at all. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, mate.
On the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set, here are the Darwin tips with Bones Harman.
Darwin chasing to look forward to at Wentworth Park on Sunday night. Our man Bonesy Harman with all of the latest for the 8-race card up for debate there on Sunday night. Hello, Bonesy.
Good morning, gents. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thanks, Bones. You've seen him pretty good last week. Only that one cost us that all up, didn't it? River Rough.
It did, River Rough. We got burnt there. It was the shortest of the lot, so welcome to Darwin.
Indeed. Yeah, we do see some interesting things from time to time. Let's get your thoughts for this 8-race card. Who are your major plays on Sunday afternoon?
Alrighty, 3 plays this weekend. Starting off in race 3, number 5, with my mate Glenn. Glenn certainly doesn't win out of turn, but he raced pretty well last start. This is a moderate 5th and maiden race, and he ran behind Maxie's Mad and River Rough, and there's certainly nothing like that in this race. Maxie's Mad went out midweek and ran another good race behind Wolfman, who we'll chat about in a sec, and River Rough is racing in an open 383 later as well. So those kind of dogs won't be there to put Glenn off this week. He doesn't jump anything spectacular, but I think he'll be stronger than the rest, and we'll go with my mate Glenn to get us off and going in race number 3.
Race 3, number 5, my mate Glenn. Second of your plays?
Now, race 5, number 8 for our second play, and that's the King, Omar Manelli. We'll stick with him. He's won plenty in a row now, 5 or 6 I think he's up to across all distances, but 383 is his sweet spot. He's the track record holder. And generally in an 8-dog race, I'd be looking to try and get him beat. But just with the map, he's out in box 8. He's going to stay out of trouble. In box 1 and 2, we've got River Rough, as I mentioned before, and Kanji Service. They're both big dogs that can actually run pretty well, but they like the outside. And with 3, Nick the Quick starting well, I reckon he'll put those 2 big dogs under a little bit of pressure. Omar can hang around out wide. And he can just finish all over the top, and he'll get the money, I reckon, again.
Nice, the Fairy Floss, Omar Manelli, to continue on that winning run. And the third of your plays there at Darwin on Sunday?
And as I spoke about before, Wolfman, race 8, number 8. Now, we spoke about Wolfman last week, and we mentioned he was up against another good dog, Wildly Excited. They ran the 1-2. Wildly Excited is certainly in form and flying, and that form was franked midweek. Wolfie jumped and ran, and 17.82, which is very, very quick. I think he's starting to find his feet up in Darwin, and if he gets any kind of luck, 17.82 beats this lot. Socks Lala in the 7, jumps and runs pretty well. He'll give him plenty of space, and I think Wolfie, even after his moderate jump midweek, I think he's got another length on that time, so I think we'll be going with Wolfie. I don't think we'll get a special price, but if we can multi him up with something else along the way, then let's definitely go with Wolfman.
Yeah, I like it. Former West Aussie, the dog just needs that little bit of room to muster. Socks Lala should accommodate that in box number 7. And Wolfie just on the swoop, round the outside of the top, and home you go. Race 3, number 5, My Mate Glenn. Race 5, number 8, Omar Manelli. Race 8, number 8, Wolfman. Anything else to add for this weekend, Bonesy?
No, boys, that's pretty much it. Look, flip your 50s in the open 3-1-2 race. I don't think you'll get a price, but if you see anything that's around that $1.50 mark, chuck him in a multi as well. Certainly won't throw him out. Everyone will be backing him in, but he could always help things out if you're looking for a multi.
Very nice work. Footy-wise this weekend, how's it all looking?
Yeah, ended up in an elimination final at home, so it's going to be wet again. It was pretty disastrous out on Saturday last weekend. I don't think many people had a lot of fun. But everyone has fun finals time, so let's get going and have a nice win, I think.
Good luck. I hope it all goes well. Bonesy, appreciate your time as always. Have a ripple weekend.
Thanks, boys. Good luck this weekend on the punt.
Thanks, Bonesy.
Cheers, lads.
It's time to get the inside word from some of the most successful kennels in WA. Here's this week's Kennel Mail.
Time now to get into the Kennel Mail and also the leftovers for this week. Kennel Mail wise, going to start off with Lukey Townsend. Good luck to Chris Halse's team as well with West on Booney across there. Lukey reporting that West on Booney is very good. Linda and Chris flew into Adelaide last night, said he was great this morning, so fingers crossed he gets a clear run. So good luck with West on Booney. Tips for this weekend, tonight race 4, West on Blossom. So that's race 4, number 7, West on Blossom this evening. Way down in grade, and we'll find this a lot easier than what it's been racing against the last couple of runs. So that's race 4, number 7, West on Blossom for tonight. And then on to Mandurah on Saturday night. Race 3, West on Coal, number 7. So race 3, number 7, a pair of 7s from Lukey this weekend. West on Coal, pretty consistent beginner, always puts himself into the race. So Mandurah Friday, 4-7 West on Blossom. Mandurah Saturday, 3-7 West on Coal. Thank you to Luke Townsend, and good luck to Team House with all their runners this upcoming weekend. Graham Credelli's been good enough to pass on the thoughts of himself and Enzo's team for this upcoming weekend of chasing. Starting things off tonight, Mandurah race 5, number 3, Maximum Carnage. Great run last week, and if he backs it up, it'll be very hard to beat each way place. Race 6, number 7, What a Ripper. Has had 5 runs from this box for 4 wins and a second. He's had a freshen up, so should be jumping and be in the finish again. That's Mandurah tonight, 5-3-6-7. Saturday night, Mandurah, race 4, number 1, Bungee Man. This is the dog that goes around in the Peter Thomas final. Drawn the box you want in a final. Will still need a touch of luck, but will be at a price worth jumping on. Ran half a length off the best of the night last week from the 7, so from the red, hopefully finds out a bit. I'm with him. I think Bungee Man in that big race is well and truly in the mix. And race 5, number 2, Disco Daisy, drops back to City Grade 5 here. If she can get clear on that first corner, she'll be hard to beat each way. Race 5, number 2, Disco Daisy. Thank you to Graham for his thoughts with the kennel this upcoming weekend. And Brother Damo was hot last week as well, finding 3 of his 4 last week. This time round, race 2, number 5, Friday night, Shaw Oliver. Just needs to begin as well as he has and should give this a good shake. Hopefully it's a rinse and repeat job of last week. Race 2, number 5, Shaw Oliver. Race 5, number 8, Artist and Artist. Forget last run where it was nothing but trouble early. I don't mind him in the 8 at Mandurah, and he should get room to hit top gear approaching the first turn. Poor record from the 8, but I wouldn't worry about that here. Big chance, have a few places if he can't cross to a handy position. 5-8 Artist. And then on Saturday night, 11-1 West on Miley. Should get room early with slow beginners on her immediate outside. With a 7 in form and the 6 liking small fields, it will be a big ask, but she will give it a good shake. Each way, race 11, number 1. West on Miley. They're the thoughts of Damien Credelli. A big thanks to Damo Graham and also Luke Townsend for their kennel mail. What about you, Train? Have you got anything from your kennel for us to follow?
Yeah, I'm not sure this week, Shorty's our weekend. We had a couple of winners last night, obviously, but I think we'll struggle over the weekend. They'll all run well, but a couple of them have not drawn well and in tough races.
All right, so we'll maybe just wait a week for Train and his thoughts. I've got my racing multi I can share with you for this weekend. We'll kick things off. A couple at Randwick and one locally at Belmont. So Randwick, race 5, number 3, Elias. Race 5, number 3, Elias, the first leg. Race 6, number 1, Manal is the second leg there. Race 6, number 1, Manal. And we round it out at Belmont. That is race 2, number 6, Bravo Centurion. Belmont, race 2, number 6, Bravo Centurion. Roll the 3 together, and you're looking at 14.04 for this weekend. With that multi, I'll be personally taking them as doubles, the treble, and an all-up place as well. Randwick, race 5, number 3, Randwick, race 6, number 1, and Belmont, race 2, number 6.
Isn't it good to have Group 1 racing back, Shorty? Looking forward to it on Saturday.
Yeah, big time, Shayne. Yeah, looking forward to the Group 1s, and it's the start of a very exciting spring upcoming, that is for sure and certain. Well, that is the kennel mail scraps all done. That leaves us with the very best train, and what we have got so far is 10-5 Wentworth Park Saturday night power and glory for our chip leader, JC. Corey's gone race 5, number 4, Mapunga Surprise at the Meadows on Saturday night. What are you doing this week?
Yeah, well, I'm putting my faith in the great man Eric Campana this week, Shorty. Still got the burn marks from 2 weeks ago, but they're slowly starting to heal up. Mulfetta Cruise Saturday night, race 7, number 1. I'll just play my 100 on that. Thanks, Shorty.
Race 7, number 1, Mulfetta Cruise on top for the train there on Saturday night at Mandurah. I am going to combine 2-legger this upcoming weekend. Going to the dog that has been oh so reliable in recent times to fill a hole. That's Crowded House, Wenny Park. Race 1, number 8, Crowded House to run a place. And outside of that, I'm heading to Mandurah on Saturday night, and I'm going to race 11, Greyhound number 6, Kenya Kraken. So they'll be the 2 for me this week. Crowded House to run a place, Wentworth Park, race 1, number 8, and the win, race 11, number 6, Kenya Kraken for the great man Paul Stewart, down in grade. In fact, I might make that the place. So just do both of them the place. Both of them the place. Just a little bit of security. I've been cruelly denied in recent weeks, Train. So I'm gonna just lock that the place there on Saturday night just for a bit of security. That'll be.
I think Punnersy wants to get off the bottom of the ladder.
Oh, damn straight I do. It's not a nice place to be. I'll give you the tip right now. So I'll play that a little bit conservative there. Race 11, number 6. Kenya Kraken there on a Saturday night as the second leg. Couple of places, Crowded House and Kenya Kraken. Now, Train, any shout-outs for this weekend?
I'd just like to shout out to the track staff up at Northam. Done a really good job, Shorty, during this busy period. Kudos to them and the kennel staff as well. Beautifully done.
Now, I also would like to wish the West Aussies all the very best across there. In South Australia this weekend, that's the big one from me. I think it's obviously a huge representative, a huge opportunity to represent your state, and really proud that the fact that they've been given the opportunity to go and fly the flag, and I hope that they come home with the cups, Train.
Yeah, well, there's no reason why. They're in the top 2 in the betting on the sprint, and we know West on Booney's ability, and the camp seem really confident there, Shorty, that they've got him peaking for this. So don't begrudge our little state over here. We're proven on the big stage, that's for sure.
Alrighty. Now, Train, rounding it out with a bit of a gag to get you in the right mood for the weekend coming up. Lady goes in to see her lady doctor, and she says, "Doctor, my husband wants intense sex all day. What can I give him?" And the lady doctor looks at her and says, you can give him my number.
The gay man like that.
Very nice. Hopefully that has put a smile on your dial for the weekend upcoming. Thanks for your company as always, punters, here on the Jet Set. We'll catch you next week.
You need to start with that.
Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. Be sure to share and retweet the show to help grow our community. Into 'em, punters.